Hey there, it's Simone. A couple weeks ago, I inked up and played with my fountain pens, and I would like to finally share that video with you. For some reason, I haven't really had the time to make a voiceover of this video, and so yeah, I feel rusty again. It's really strange. I thought during this shelter in place, I would have so much time to actually sit down and film more videos. But since my kids are doing distance learning and they occupy the dining room table most mornings, I'm not there and I don't have enough space to film. And so I can only film on the weekends now, and some weekends I just don't really want to. So what I have been doing, I am using a Stalogy A6 for my planner this year. I started in January and I just opened it up to the next free page and pulled out all the fountain pens I had. Some of them are inked, some of them are not. The one that I'm using right now is a Twsbi Echo in a medium nib, and it is inked up with Noodlers Lexington Gray ink. And the one with the very neon green color is a Twsbi Echo T, which I have found since I am owning both, that I actually like the T better than the regular Twsbi Echo. So, and that is the fine nib, and it is inked up with Noodlers Black. And then I have pulled out, as I said, all the fountain pens that I haven't used in a long time. This one is the Kaweco Sport. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. This is a German brand, and I am German, so it's a Kaweco Sport in the mint color. And I have pretty big hands, and it feels really strange in my hand to write with this pen. It's so delicate. And as you saw, I haven't really used it in a long time. So it was dried up, and so I just used the paper towel to actually get the ink to flow when you touch the what do you call that? Is it a feather in English too? I'm like really the nib part of the fountain pen. In German, it is called feather because that is what we started to use as a fountain pen, is actually a feather, and so the front part of the fountain pen is called a feather. So if you touch the nib with a paper towel, you can get the ink to flow again. I have started using fountain pens when I was in, I think at the end of first grade, maybe in the beginning of second grade. We were required to use fountain pens in school, and so using fountain pens isn't new to me, and I am not very delicate with my fountain pens. As I said, I don't know if this is what you should be doing, but I have been doing this for 30 plus years, to touch the top of the nib with a paper towel to get the ink to flow, and that's how I do this. So I can't really speak if this is something that you should do as well. You should probably watch videos or read upon how to actually properly use and care for fountain pens. That's maybe the reason why I'm not very happy with the way most of the inks work for me. My problem is that either the fountain pen is super wet and all of the inks just blob out of the fountain pen. I have noticed, especially with the Twsbi Echo and the Noodlers fountain pen inks that I have. I don't really have that many fountain pen inks, but these inks just slosh out of this pen, and I don't really have it. Bleeds through most of the paper that I have, besides Tomoe River paper. And well, I'm a lover of Clairefontaine or Rhodia paper, and I love how smoothly all no matter what kind of fountain pen, even if it's scratchy on other papers, in my experience, all fountain pens just glide over Clairefontaine or Rhodia paper. So maybe that's why I don't enjoy using fountain pens that much, because I'm just so spoiled with that paper. And yeah, so what I've been doing is I have just looked through all of the pens that I own. I have the yellow Lamy pen that you can see here. That's a Lamy Safari. I have had, I think I purchased it close. I'm not sure. In my in my lifetime, I have had many fountain pens. I started using Lamy fountain pens when I was a teenager, and I have had a red one, I think. I had a really royal blue one, and this yellow one. I had more, but I don't know. I wasn't really a collector of those, and I had one with a broad nib, and it just didn't work for me. So I probably gave it away or threw it away. I haven't. They were just pens for me, just like a little bit more expensive and a little bit more uh, savable than ballpoint pens, but yeah. So the yellow one is older than all of the other ones that I have. I used that during school, but I think I just got that before I left school, and I used it during uni. That's the one that I used to write with, and I actually wrote with a fountain pen for a long time, more than or longer than some people. When you are not required to use a fountain pen anymore, then they just go to gel pens or felt tip pens or rollerball pens. But I have been true to fountain pens, so that's another reason why I don't really understand why I'm not using them right now. I suspect it's similar. It's a similar. There's different things. The ink, as well as the way the paper and the fountain pen play together. It's just not satisfying to me when you see this and it's ghosting and bleeding through. That's just not what I like. So when I first got back into fountain pens and I ordered the Twsbi Echo and the Kaweco Sport about 3 or 4 years ago, I also ordered some ink samples from Goulet pens, and I just thought, well, maybe I'll try the colorful fountain pen inks again and see how I like them. But this one, which I wrote it down, but I can't really read it right now, this red one, it just looks like somebody's nose bled. I did not like it. I don't know if it was this all the time, or if it might have gone bad because I didn't store it well enough, or maybe just because it has been sitting there for a long time and I might have brought something in there that made it go bad. It just didn't look right, and so I decided to just throw it away. So what I'm doing is this is cut together. So I spent really a long time that day on those, with the fountain pens and with the inks, trying all the different things. In between, I rinsed them. I cleaned the inks and the converters out, and I cleaned these syringes and just played. So I got rid of that red ink again, and that's why I put it somewhere. Either was it in the yellow? I think it was in the pink pen. So I just put it someplace, and then I went, oops, I went again and cleaned them out, and then came back and filled those pens that I didn't like the ink, or that wrote too wet, and changed the ink out. So I'm using this one, and I really like how this ink plays with this fountain pen. As I said, I'm not very familiar or knowledgeable about the fountain pen inks. This one is Robert Oster, I think, and it is a very, very nice blue. The interesting thing is that I have had a very nice blue when I was a teenager as well. I'm always gravitating to the same colors: black, blue, black, this really bright turquoise, and a pink purplish color. So I'm just trying them out. And what I've been trying to do when you saw me color those boxes, I was trying to see how the inks layer on top of each other, and what they look when you add 1 layer, 2, and 3 layers. And so that's what you see there. Okay, so where was I? My guesses, or what I've been thinking about doing once the shelter in place and all of this is over, and once I have tried working with the colors and inks that I own, and have found when and where I actually use the colored inks, to just go and not buy the very special fountain pen inks, but to go back and buy those fountain pen inks that I have been, like, in Germany we have this saying, it's called 0815, like just the regular fountain pen ink, not one with glitter, not one that has sheen, not one that is specially formulated, just the one that you can get everywhere in all the department stores everywhere. Maybe I should just go to those. I have been looking at Monteverde inks, but again, I'm really hesitant to purchase a whole bottle of ink that I might not use. So again, I'm waiting for Goulet pens to open again, and then might order some Monteverde inks. I have one, but that is just the brightest. It's called Valentine Red, and I didn't even ink a pen with that color. I have one, the Valentine Red, and I actually really like how that writes. I don't remember the ink properties, or how the ink played with the Twsbi fountain pens, but well, I have Lamy and I have Kaweco, and I also have I haven't really shown that one. I have also 2 Kakuno fountain pens, the Pilot Starter fountain pens, and I really like those. In a fine and a medium nib, and they write absolutely amazing with the ink that came with it, the ink cartridge. So I don't know what that's supposed to tell me. The pink ink that I put into this Lamy pen is the Iroshizuku, I think it is called. Sorry for my head, but I usually like to put my head above where I'm writing so that I see what I'm writing. And so that's what happened. I Okay, I'm breathing. What is very interesting to see for me is that, as you can see here too, the Noodlers Black in the fine Twsbi Echo fine nib is almost as broad as the Lexington Gray in the medium nib. And also, it is not really black. It's almost a gray. And there's not a big difference besides the fact that the gray ink actually has a tint toward the greenish and yellow colors, which is a hue that I noticed I don't really like. So I have the Twsbi Echo T in the fine nib with the Noodlers Black. And then I have the Twsbi Echo M nib with the Noodlers Lexington Gray. And I'm going to leave those just like that because, as I said before, I have tried several inks in the Twsbi, and some of them just like drool out of the pens. And so I don't want to risk doing that again. Then I have inked the Kaweco with the Robert Oster Fire and Ice or something. Again, this is so tiny, I can't really read it. Oh, well, wow, how awesome. I have the planner right in front of me. The Robert Oster Fire and Ice, I really like how that is writing. Then I have the Pilot Kakuno with the J. Urban Emerald of Chivoire. However, I changed that out again because it did not write very well. And I changed the color again after that, and I will update you on that. And then I put the Iroshizuku Yamabudo ink from Pilot into the Lamy Safari, and that is actually, I think, an M nib. I have to check it out again. I have a silver one that is, silver, it looks silver. That is, it's probably steel. That is F. And then I have the Lamy Safari. I think I actually change out the nibs because you can easily change out the nibs for the Lamy Safaris. It's really easy. You just have to use your fingernails and hook them right behind the nib where it touches the where it goes into the fountain pen, the plastic barrel, and then you just pull, and then it slides off, and then you can slide on the other one. So I have the Lamy Safari with the purplish pink. I don't know if it's the real color or if that is just because there was black ink in that pen before. So maybe there's some residue and that's why it looks so dark. But I actually really like that color. And that's another one that I'm considering. I don't really have to have a fountain pen ink that is $20 plus. It doesn't have to be that special to me. I don't really am such a nerd to use this. And now as you can see, I'm testing all of the fountain pens and the inks in different notebooks. So I wrote them out in Nostalgy. The other one that I used was cheaper Muji paper, which they feathered quite a bit, but they didn't really bleed through. And then this one is Tomoe River paper in my Hobonichi weeks. And I have to say that they really, Tomoe River paper is another paper that deals and takes most of the fountain pens and most of the fountain pen inks very well. Okay, so then I then after I filmed all of this, I changed out the fountain pen ink in the Kakuno Fine twice. I changed it out to the Noodlers 54th Massachusetts, and that one, people, I really love blue black ink, but I'm not fond of this ink. It just, all of my fountain pens, no matter which one it is, writes at least one or two nib widths broader with this ink. Oh, here you can see how I'm changing it out. You saw it was really easy, and then I spilled. Oh yeah. I am, as I said, I'm not very delicate and easygoing on my fountain pens, and that's actually another reason why I'm not purchasing more expensive fountain pens, because it's probably the same with the inks. I'm not really seeing a difference yet. Maybe if I use them more, that would change, but for now it's not happening. I tried using these fountain pens in my planner, and it was a disaster. It was one of the first times that I actually cut out a page and redid it, just because I could not handle the fact that the fountain pen ink bled through the paper. So now everything is focusing on my gray hair. As you saw me changing the nib for the fountain pen, I just wrote a little bit more with this ink in my Hobonichi weeks. And I'm showing you trying to smear the ink with my finger. And here again, I'm showing you what I did here, and I'm showing you the backside of the pages, because I guess this is it. It did only ghost, but not bleed through. And this is the Muji paper, all the way in the back. Again, it did not bleed through. It ghosted, but it didn't bleed. However, some of the inks really feathered, especially the 54th Massachusetts again, and also the Lamy Safari in the M nib with the pink fountain, with the pink ink. And then I wrote them all down and wrote them all out, wrote all their properties and the prices, and showed you again the 54th bled through. I then went and cleaned out that fountain pen again and put in an ink cartridge, a black ink cartridge. It's from Pilot. It doesn't really say what kind of ink it is. It just says black, and it works fine. So that's what I was telling you earlier. Maybe I just don't need the fancy inks to use my fountain pens. Let me know how you're doing. Do you use fountain pens? I would love to hear your experience, because as you can clearly see, I'm still in the beginning stages and I'm still experimenting. I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.